the talk of the town, Botox and filler. Do you recommend it? And if you do, what age can we do it?
Well, I think Botox and fillers have now become very old. Now the talk of the town are salmon DNAs and vampire facials and everything.
Wow.
However, let's start with Botox and fillers. Well, I would say that it is here to stay. And last 10 years also that the scare about Botox and fillers was always there. It is there but a little, and if we do these things properly, in appropriate amounts, nothing is bad.
Hi everyone, welcome to an exciting episode at the Storyteller Studio. Today's show is brought to you by Dr. Tyasi's Piel Clinic. And we have with us Dr. Shifali Nerulkar. Hi Dr. Shifali. So is skincare really important, or is just a hype that the brands have created?
Well, if you're asking as a dermatologist, then of course skincare is the most important thing, that is the first thing that one should always remember. However, if you ask me as a general person, then I would say that yes, it is very important because your skin represents you.
Right.
So if you have a nice, glowing, healthy skin, it just tells that how positive, good person that you are without even you having to open your mouth.
Right.
The similar way, if you have a dull, tired looking, a very unhealthy type of skin, then that also tells you how unclean and unkept you are.
Right.
So I always tell my patients that it's not the color that matters, but it's the glow that matters on your skin. And hence, I would always tell my patients that have a healthy, glowing skin. And so definitely it's not a hype. However, there is always a hype about, what all things to do about skin ki, do this, do that, ye bhi karo, wo bhi karo, ye lagao, wo lagao, Korean glass skin and this skin and that skin. That is definitely a hype. And that is something that I definitely don't promote to my patients.
Okay. But the normal routine that someone should follow, every one of us should follow. Any recommendation?
So from a very young age, I always tell my patients, I have patients ranging from from the birth literally to an older age group of 80, 90. And the general skincare that I will always recommend who comes my way is have a good cleanser for your face,
right.
Have a good shower gel or body wash for your body, a good moisturizer for your face as well as for your body, and then a sunscreen. That will be my go-to 3 products that I will always look forward to whenever I'm traveling, or that is those 3 products I will always tell to my patients and friends and family.
Correct. Right. Now coming to skin cycling, people are talking a lot about it. What is it exactly?
So this is again one of the trend that has started, and we've been following. It's just been given a beautiful name, and that's skin cycling. So in skin cycling, what happens is you must be very well aware of retinoids. So anti-aging and retinoids are nowadays going hand in hand. And so it's like you use retinoids for, like we have 7 days in a week. So you use retinoids for about 4 days or 5 days in a week, and 2 days you do not apply anything. So you allow the skin to nicely exfoliate in those 4-5 days, and 2 days you allow it to calm down, come back to its natural self. There is no peeling of the skin. So that is typically a skin cycling.
Okay.
And generally we do this for patients with acne scars, for those looking forward to anti-aging treatments, then those who want to just treat their little fine lines and wrinkles here and there. So that is skin cycling for you.
Okay.
So this is with regards to an anti-aging procedure. I can use similarly skin cycling for various other procedures, such as for acne I would want to do, I would want to do it for certain pigmentary disorders, hyperpigmentation. So different types, and I can change the products the way I want to. And 4 or 5 days of a week, I allow my skin to work properly with those active ingredients in the products. And 2 days, I just tell them, have a holiday.
Nice. Dr. Shifali, what is the biggest skin myth now people should stop believing in?
Well, the biggest myth would be becoming fair. And
बचपन से सुनते आ रहे हैं ये.
that is one of the most important aspect of Indian society that we want a fair girl.
Fair girl, yeah.
And that's how patients come to us and they tell us we want to look fair. So that is a myth. And you cannot become fair if your original skin color is not fair.
Fair, okay.
However, I can get you back the skin, that glow of the skin which was there in your childhood.
Acha.
So generally when a patient comes to me and tells me, doc, I want to look fair. So I tell them that fairness is a myth. And I generally tell them, take your shirt a little down and tell me the color of your chest. I can get you that color back on your face. Because that color, that chest color is much more, lighter than the face. Because it is generally not exposed to sun, and, it's not tanned or anything. So that is the color. I tell them that is something that I would want to achieve on your face, your neck, your hands, your legs. So that is the most important thing. I can achieve a good glow on the face. So you can be dark, but you can have those beautiful features. We just need to just enhance them a little bit over there, here and there. Remove all those blemishes of the face. Keep the skin one-toned. Ki yahan kala hai, yahan gora hai. Something not like that. Keep one tone of the skin.
Right.
Be confident to go out of your house without any makeup. That is something that I always, tell my patients. That kind of confidence is something I want my patients to have, and that is what I always strive in my clinic.
Is that easily achievable?
Why not?
Yeah.
See, skincare is all about doing and doing and doing. Like a skincare, if you tell me what is the ideal age to start skincare, I tell them childhood. If you observed, your parents have started a skincare for you when you were a little kid. You always had your massage oil, and then you had baby powder, and then you had a baby moisturizer. Somewhere down the line, parents do not do anything parents give up on, giving us bath and all that. So in those teenage years, generally we, skip skincare. And that is when things start going downhill. So that is something that we should, that gap is something that we should really look forward to. And then again, after 18, we become very conscious and we want to go back to, using our cleansers and toners and day creams and night creams. So that one gap, if we avoid and we do a continuous skincare right from the childhood to adolescence, to teenage, then your, post 18, adulthood, then above 30. So if we continue using a good skincare, you will end up having always a good skin.
Good skin. Right.
So there are many times patients tell me in my clinic, I want a skin like you.
Yeah.
And how did you achieve it?
You have a beautiful skin.
And I tell them, I achieved it because I started a good skincare from the age of 15. Lucky for me, I have a dermatologist mother. But parents, those girls, those boys who do not have dermatologists as their parents, for them, I can just tell them, use a good cleanser, use a good moisturizer, use a good night cream, which is suiting for your skin type and at that particular age group. Ingredients will keep changing. Jab aap adolescence mein aaoge, teenage mein aaoge, I'll give you something which is good for that age group.
That age.
When you come to, 18 to 25, 30 ke beech mein, the skincare will, be limited to that age group. About 30, ingredients will change slightly. Retinoids, hyaluronic, those things will come. Before that, I would, do more of niacinamide and vitamin C and all those things. Then I will use a higher concentration of vitamin C just to have that beautiful anti-aging, that glow on the face. So about 40, 45, I would like to do something for those fine lines, wrinkles. I would introduce my treatment slowly in them, where my creams are not helping, probably my treatments will work over there. So skincare is very important and you have to do from the very beginning. And avoid those gaps.
And you even recommend this for kids, right?
Of course.
And when do kids, at what age they should start taking care of their skin, and what are the steps?
So steps remain the same. A simple moisturizing. So having a good shower gel, not very harsh soaps, full of chemicals. Have good pH balanced, either soaps or shower gels, whatever you're comfortable with. Then use a good moisturizer for the body.
Okay.
Similarly, use a good face cleanser. Nowadays, we get beautiful non-soapy, those foaming cleansers which do not rip off your skin of your natural skin oils. So they should use those type of cleansers, followed by a nice face moisturizer which is suiting for that particular skin.
Okay.
Because again, it will change when a girl attains her, menarche. So when they start having their periods, that is the time the skin is going to change.
Acha.
And before that, the skin is slightly different. So that is the time when your skincare will change slightly. Your skin can either become too oily, or it can become normal, or it can become dry. Till that time, generally, एक ही skin type होता है बच्चों का, and that is normal skin type.
Normal skin.
Not
right.
There are very few patients who have very dry skin or very oily skin, but एक normal skin type is what we have seen. So एक simple face moisturizer use किया. If they are going to be, if they are sports children, they are all the time engaged in sports, then above the age of 8, I recommend them sunscreens.
Sunscreens, okay.
Good physical sunscreens with less chemicals in that. Apart from that, you actually do not require much.
Okay.
But here I'll put in a point, because we are here to tell a story. So recently we've heard a lot of stories about, kids doing makeup. And a lot of brands promoting kids makeup, having that is something I would not advise my kids to have, because your skin, that age is an age of innocence.
Right.
And we should maintain that innocence on the face. By adding, it's not that, you should not apply at all. Yeah, somewhere if it is socially hampering your confidence, then probably you can apply something. But getting into that skincare, the makeup and this and that, they have their own list of products. That is something which I don't generally recommend.
Don't encourage it at all.
Yes.
Right. I agree. Dr. Shifali, can you please suggest different products for different skin types?
Sure.
Acne prone skin.
So if it's acne prone skin, I would like to give my patient products containing benzoyl peroxide, glycolic acid, mandelic acid, azelaic acid, more of AHA products. Okay. That is alpha hydroxy acid products, because they will help in, treating my acne as well as my acne pigmentation. If it is more red or inflamed, what we say in our language, then I would like to introduce antibiotics like clindamycin in a similar patient, clindamycin, or I will use mupirocin in those type of patients. So that is for acne. If the acne is combined with pigmentation, because the acne comes and acne goes. But acne always leaves back a telltale sign, which is either a pigmentation or it is a scar. If it is a pigmentation, then I would probably include my glycolic acid to hai hi saath mein, but I would introduce slowly brightening agents like kojic acid, arbutin, tranexamic acid, glutathione. So I will introduce those products into my skincare.
Okay.
If it is a scarred face, like acne scars, then I would tell my patients to use certain retinols, such as tretinoin, adapalene, combination of tretinoin and adapalene. And if the scars are really deeper, then I generally suggest my patients acne scar laser treatments or microneedling radiofrequency. Their actual treatments play a very important role.
Okay.
Now patients are very scared jab hum log laser bolte, doctor no laser, doctor no laser. So what do these lasers do is, basically, when you develop an acne scar, there is a dent in the skin.
Okay.
And there is a fibrosis just below that dent. So it is just holding on to that dented skin. What my lasers try to do is, they cause collagen remodeling. So उससे क्या होता है, वो scar का skin धीरे धीरे भरता चला जाता है. So when I'm looking at the top, I feel, oh, the scar is improving.
Right.
So exactly that's how my lasers work. So they in fact help you improve your collagen in the skin, and that's how it helps you improve the acne scar. So these lasers, when done properly with the right technology and the right machines, it plays a beautiful role on the skin.
Right.
Similar way, your microneedling radiofrequency. You must have heard about needling. काफी सुनते हैं लोग. Needling, microneedling करो, microneedling. Now what is that? Is nothing but I take a roller with multiple small needles in it, and I just roll it on my face. What I'm trying to do is, I'm trying to trigger the same collagen synthesis ka production. So that is what I do for a acne scar. However, there are many rollers which are available for home use, and that is something that we do not recommend.
Okay.
Microneedling is generally not recommended to be done at home.
At home, okay.
It is preferably to be done in a clinic setup or under a proper supervised guidance, because if I continue doing the same microneedling at home and I'm a little bit harsh and deeper, I might leave back again a post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation.
Right. And now about dry skin.
So for a dry skin, my go-to product will be depending upon the age.
Okay.
So if it is a younger age group, I'll use simple moisturizers with hyaluronic acid, niacinamide. And if it is an older age group, then I would include more of ceramicides, the butters, shea butters, the oils.
Okay.
I will try to introduce those in a older age group patients where I know that acne won't be a problem by introducing intense moisturizer.
Right.
So that is how I differentiate my products.
Okay. And what about skin that is aging?
So in an aged skin, there is a lot of things to be thought about. It is all about improving the texture. It is about introducing hydration in my skin. It is about getting that skin also gets very dull as we age. So it is about improving the color. So depending upon what is the problem, we treat at that particular level. With regards to products, it won't change much. The similar products containing hyaluronic, your niacinamide, ceramicides, butters, oils, that will definitely come. I will even introduce retinoids, so that will help me in working on the texture of the skin. If I am giving them oral supplements, then I will try to give them supplements containing omega-3 fatty acids, coenzymes, astaxanthins, glutathione, because those will help to improve the skin from within.
Right.
So generally when a patient goes to a dermatologist and asks them, "Doc, what can I use? I'm aging and I want to start a good skincare for myself."
Yeah.
So that is when we give these nutraceuticals. We give a good skincare routine, which will consist of a nice cleanser, a morning day cream, a night cream, a sunscreen, probably sometimes even a mask. And then we'll also recommend them certain treatments that can visit their dermatologist and get there. Because, these treatments help to reach your skin to a certain level. And then when you apply these topicals and you give those oral nutraceuticals, you are able to achieve that 100%.
Okay. Right.
So this is how a complete skincare routine is generally, given to a patient.
Right. A skincare routine that you recommend for morning and night.
So a skincare routine for morning and night will always be depend upon what type of skin you have. If it is an oily skin, so generally in the morning when a patient gets up, they will always say that, "Doc, I feel very sticky and oily in the mornings." So that is the time we generally tell them to have a good exfoliating cleanser containing a salicylic acid or a benzoyl peroxide or mandelic acid. So those will be my go-to cleansers. That will be followed by a very lightweight moisturizer and a sunscreen, which is either gel-based or a matte finish. So that will not make the face look very oily. It will give that right hydration. Or instead, if you want to skip on a moisturizer, then I also recommend niacinamide as a good morning cream,
Okay.
And so that is generally I tell to my patients with an oily skin. Now, when it comes to a normal to dry skin, I would include a moisturizer instead of a niacinamide.
Okay.
And my cleanser will also not contain, those harsh AHAs. I would go for probably, a foamy cleanser, which will be cleansing. So patient will definitely feel fresh, but at the same time not strip the skin of the oils. So that is my morning routine for all my patients. For night, I generally recommend them skincare depending upon what problem do they have. So if it is an oily skin, more acne prone, I can see a few comedones, papules here and there, then I will introduce my acne skincare at night, which consists of azelaic acid or benzoyl peroxide, glycolic, clindamycin, Depending upon what type of acne they have, even acne prone, then I would introduce more of retinols in them. So that will be for a oily skin, more prone to developing acne. If a patient who comes to me and tells that, I want to treat my pigmentation, then my night routine will be more targeted towards treating the problem that she has. So it will be a depigmenting cream containing kojic, arbutin, sometimes even a retinol, glutathione, tranexamic acid, because these are photosensitive. Some of the depigmenting agents, they are photosensitive agents. So as a result of which, if the patients apply it in the morning and go out in the sun, there's a high chance I might make the patient look more tan than, So at night, sun is now not there, and chance of photosensitization is not there. So generally, any dermatologist will give a good depigmenting, a good retinoid at night to, take care of those acne scars and those marks. Now coming to an aged face, a night care routine will generally be more to stimulate more to give them hydration. So it will include vitamin C serums, it will include hyaluronic serums, it will include some amount of retinol, because that is also helping me keep those fine lines away. Then it will include, the dullness that is there. Sometimes I might even use a glutathione cream, So that is something that I look forward to when I'm thinking of night care. I will think of anti-aging creams containing Matrixyl 3000, antioxidants. So those are the ingredients I generally look forward to when I'm thinking of a night care. So always remember, a day care or an AM cream will be much more lighter, much more focused on something when a patient is going out, has to face the world. So it's very generally mild. Whereas when it comes to a night care, it is always important. And many times patients tell me, doctor, I keep forgetting, what do I do? So I tell them, अच्छा morning में ना तू moisturizer, sunscreen लगा के निकल जा, रात को तू बराबर कर लेना सब कुछ. So that is my go-to treatment. Ki do not forget my night care, because that is most important. That is your treatment line. Morning में एक हाथ बार चल, तुम moisturizer भी नहीं लगाए तो भी चलेगा, but sunscreen लगा के निकल जा. Wash your face, apply sunscreen. Then I will change my sunscreen as per that person. If they tell me, doc, I really don't have time to do anything, I have to manage my house and my kids, working females. So then I tell them, ठीक है, cleanse your face. नहाते वक्त face धो लेना face wash से. And then I give them a moisturizer with a sunscreen combined. तो एक इसमें पूरा काम उनका हो जाता है. Apply and out. Many a times we even have sunscreens with a tint in it. So since we came on the topic of working women, when we are out there, we don't want those little blemishes, looked here and popping out here and there, and we want to have a nice glowing skin. So nahi hai patient ke paas time, kya kare? So I give them a sunscreen with a tint. So it works beautifully as a good makeup. B, it protects you from that constant exposure to visible light, just as laptops ho, mobile ho. So all those females working in corporate offices, unko hum log bolte chalo tinted sunscreen. It's a very good physical sunscreen, less of chemicals, gives that a finished look to the face, and it's on the go sunscreen. So it's beautiful on the for the patients, for the women to go face the world. So laga lo, nikal jao. Night ka routine sirf mat bolo. So in fact, nowadays people do like to apply some amount of makeup, probably a blush or a concealer, or not a concealer, but a blush or a highlighter or something. Sunscreen ke upar wo laga lo, khadam baat. So that can be even done when they have reached the office.
Correct.
So I generally tell to keep my day routine very minimal, very realistic, very go-to. And my night is something I tell them, use one product, but a good product. And then I always, like the way we spoke about skin cycling, I would sometimes they give them a good scrub. I would give them a good mask, just to relax the face, relax those face nerves.
So they have the scrub or the mask has to be homemade or need to be bought from out?
Being an allopathic doctor, I'm not too much for homemade, but yeah, I wouldn't shun it off completely. Our ancestors have used them, and some of them are really working very well. So I do, and our chemical peels that we use in our clinics do come from there. So the lactic acid that we use in our clinics is nothing but your milk. So your So that it's coming from the milk source.
Milk source, okay.
Those chemical peels that we are using, most of them are coming from the fruit acids. So I do believe that there is some say to those homemade masks. And always, when my patients ask them, can I mix turmeric with curd and this and that, I was like, you can use whatever you want as long as it suits you.
Suits you, right.
If it doesn't suit you, then you have to stop it immediately.
Correct.
But there are certain good masks containing, besan and besan, turmeric, curd. So these are few of the masks that I have myself seen, during COVID times when we had a lot of time in our hand.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, never tried on myself though, but I have seen my patients doing it, asking me, doc, I do this, is it okay? So that is something that I definitely recommend. And there are certain scrubs which have those exfoliating salts. Not a homemade thing, definitely, but these are exfoliating salts. So that is something that a oil-prone skin can definitely go for.
Okay.
But there's a caution in that. I always tell them, do not rub it. When you apply a scrub on your face, remember, it has those exfoliating salts which, when come in contact with your skin, are going to cause that gentle exfoliation. So you scrubbing that skin is going to cause more irritation rather than doing the work.
Right.
So I tell them, apply the scrub once a week. Let it be on for 15-20 minutes or whatever the pack says, and then wash it off. What it does is, it removes that excess grim dirt off the face, which we have accumulated over a period of the last 6 days. Because we are working in a city like Mumbai, we are all the time exposed to dust and dirt and pollution everywhere. So generally I tell them, on a Sunday, you're free afternoons, just apply a scrub or a mask, keep it on and wash it off. Mask is generally, I recommend to, those normal to dry skin types who need that additional moisturizing apart from their routine skincare. That is when I recommend them good masks.
Okay. Also, I had this question that vitamin C needs to be applied only in the mornings?
No, nothing like that.
Nothing like
it is an antioxidant serum. It can be applied morning as well as night.
Okay.
So depending upon what skincare you are looking forward to, you can apply it anytime you want.
Okay.
However, top it off with a sunscreen.
If
you're applying it in the morning.
So the procedure has to be vitamin C, moisturizer and sunscreen.
Yes, always a serum first, then a cream, and then last, always remember, is the sunscreen. Because it's like a barrier cream. After that, the only thing that you can apply is makeup. Okay, got you. So before that, I generally tell my patients, cleanser, serum, moisturizer if required, cream if required. Otherwise, nowadays, in a humid weather, a serum does the work also of a more good moisturizer. So serum, sunscreen, or serum, moisturizer, sunscreen, makeup. Okay. Perfect. Now coming to the talk of the town, Botox and fillers. Do you recommend it? And if you do, what age can we do it? Can we start the process? Well, I think Botox and fillers have now become very old. Old? Now the talk of the town are salmon DNAs and vampire facials and everything. Wow. However, let's start with Botox and fillers. Well, I would say that it is here to stay. And last 10 years also, that the scare about Botox and fillers was always there. It is there, but a little. And if we do these things properly, in appropriate amounts, nothing is bad. Okay. However, if it is overdone, then it is definitely going to, show it off on the face. And, we are going to have those unnatural results. So Botox and fillers are, I'll tell in this podcast, they are two different things. And a Botox, or it's also called as a neurotoxin, because Botox is a brand name of a company. Okay. Whereas it's actually a neurotoxin. Now what does it do is, it's nothing but a protein that helps you relax the muscle, which is overworked. Okay. So over a period of so many years, we've been using our face muscles to emote. So I'm looking up, I'm frowning, I'm smiling, all these things. Over a period of time, our muscles are getting more tired, more sluggish, more lax. And as a result of which, we are seeing those lines on the face. Right. Once upon a time, we had those clear foreheads with no lines. And then you slowly start developing those lines. That is what people don't like it. And with the help of neurotoxin or Botox, I rest those lines. I do not paralyze them. I
Acha.
do not over inject them. I just relax them.
Relax them. Okay.
Okay. And if I do it in a very gentle way, then the results are natural looking.
Uh-huh.
If I overdo,
Uh-huh.
अगर मैं 10 यूनिट के बदला 15 यूनिट यूज करूं वही न्यूरोटॉक्सिन का, that means if I overdo it, then definitely I'm going to create that mask.
Mask.
Because I'm over relaxing the muscle. So
Right.
the muscle is only going to listen to what you have put in. So that is your botulinum toxin or neurotoxin or Botox. Fillers are completely different. Fillers are pre-filled syringes consisting generally of hyaluronic acid. These are temporary fillers. There are semi-permanent and permanent fillers also, but unfortunately they're not available in India.
Mhm.
And so these hyaluronic acid fillers are generally used to either fill, lift or rejuvenate. Okay, there are of completely different types. लोगों को लगता है फिलर माने एक ही है, बोटॉक्स और फिलर एक ही है, एंड देन फिलर में भी एक ही है सब कुछ. वो लिफ्ट भी करेगा, वो फिल भी करेगा, वो रिजुविनेट भी करेगा. वैसा नहीं होता. There are certain fillers depending upon what molecular size, what content, how much content they have, they are used to either lift, fill or rejuvenate. Now, what does a filler do? Let's start with filling. There's a simple dent on your face.
Huh.
I fill it up with a filler. And that is how a filler works.
Okay.
If my face is sagging,
Huh.
what I do is I put in a filler to lift it up. So that is for anti-aging or lifting.
Huh.
If I'm having a very dry skin, lacking that, the charm of the skin has gone down, a dry, wrinkled skin, then I will put in skin boosters to rejuvenate the skin.
Okay.
So I'm giving hyaluronic acid exactly in the subdermal area wherein it can absorb the water and then hydrate. What it would have done if you apply a good moisturizer.
Okay.
Okay. But your moisturizer does not penetrate deep enough. Or probably it is not penetrate. You might be using the best of the moisturizer, but your skin is not accepting that moisture at that particular level. So that is when I use a skin booster to rejuvenate.
Okay.
So there are different type of fillers. There are different types. Now, fillers, अगर जो मैं आँख में डाल रही हूँ, I cannot put it on my cheeks. Otherwise, I'll not give that, that lift, or the longevity of the product will be really less.
Okay. All right. Uh-huh.
So different technologies in it, different things are there in fillers. So yes, fillers are definitely, and Botox is definitely here to stay. Fillers के बदले हम लोग दूसरी भी चीजें use कर सकते हैं. I can probably use a thread to lift the skin, or to make the skin look more bouncy. But Botox के लिए अभी तक तोड़ नहीं बना है.
So they are harmless.
When done properly, it is harmless.
Okay.
When product used is good, it is harmless.
Okay.
But when overdone, or if you don't look at the quality of the product, anything can be harmful to you.
Harmful. Okay. So stress and lifestyle, does it affect our skin?
Of course. So when a patient comes to me, the first thing I ask is their age, and the second thing I ask is their occupation. Because occupation is playing a very important role. Occupation will tell me about how stressed the person is and what kind of lifestyle they are leading. So if it is a person with a more of a corporate lifestyle, then they're all the time running behind their timelines and projects. So also their exposure to blue light will be a lot. So the visible light, not the blue light, the visible light.
Visible light.
So laptop ka, they sit for hours and hours together. So us time pe then my skincare will go towards more of, protecting their skin from the physical damage that is happening because of this light.
Right.
So there my lifestyle plays a very important role. Acha, if my patient sitting in front of me is, doing a non-laptop work, not exposed to too much of visible light, in their, doing some designing work wherein they are using their paper and pen, teachers, not exposed to too much of laptops, and then my skincare will change depending upon that. For a student, it will be completely different because they have their exams, they are out in sun, they are eating junk, because it plays a very important role.
Right.
So then my skincare will depending upon that. That my advice to them will depend upon that. Cut down on this, cut down on that. Eat this, eat that. Try to include more nutrients in your diet. So your work your lifestyle and your stress plays a very important role. I always tell my patients that your stress, whatever is happening inside your body, is coming out on your face.
Okay.
So if you're going to be stressed inside, you are going to look very dull. You are going to have a few pimples popping out here and there, and probably even have hair fall.
Right.
So stress plays a very important role. Lifestyle, definitely. Then also it helps me to, advise them a proper skincare. If in the morning the patient is not having enough time, I cannot give them an elaborate skincare in the mornings. I would rather want to focus more on their night care when they come back. If a patient tells me, ki, doc, I just go home and I, fall on my bed, then probably, and in the mornings I go आराम से, तो फिर मैं उनको बोलूंगी चल यार फिर morning में थोड़ा काम कर ले, try to work on your skin in the morning. At night it's okay, you can, just apply a cream and then
it has to be balanced, morning
or
night.
वो एक lifestyle में हमें बहुत फर्क पड़ता है, क्या स्किन केयर देना है उसमें बहुत फर्क पड़ता है.
Right.
So yeah.
और अभी जरा डाइट के बारे में बता दीजिए. What kind of diet we need to follow for a good skin, glowing skin?
So a few decades back, it was always felt that diet doesn't play a very important role. However, right now we can confidently say that diet plays a very, very important role. Whatever we are putting in your mouth plays a very important role in how your skin is going to be, how your hair is going to be, how your nails are going to be.
Right.
And that's why whatever you're putting, let it be right. Correct. So as a dermatologist, as a mother, I would always say a big no to, excess oil, junk, and sweets. That definitely plays a havoc on your skin. And over a period of time, it is definitely going to show it up on your skin. Probably not in the early years, but later years. So it's very important what you put in your mouth. Secondly, try to have a diet full of antioxidants. Include some salads. They're not that bad.
Yeah.
And at a very early age, if you, develop a liking in our own kids for salads and for healthy food, remember, it will go a very long way in their later life. So that time they'll remember, oh, mummy ne bola tha, nahi, ye kha lo, acha hai. Nowadays, mothers are very, very particular, they should have those nuts, those salads. So you see that the later generation is definitely going to have better skin.
Good.
So that one step I've seen a lot of my patients doing for their kids, and that is something which I really appreciate in them.
Right. Thank you so much, Dr. Shifali. It was so lovely to have you at the Storyteller Studio.
Thank you.
So tell our listeners little about you.
Well, hello all. I'm Dr. Shifali Nerulkar. I'm a MD dermatologist and I'm a consultant at Piel Skin Clinic. I've been practicing dermatology for the last 14 years, and I work in dermatology as well as I do a lot of aesthetic procedures, including all the Botox, fillers, and the newest trends that are there in the market. And I have my 3 clinics, one in Prabhadevi, one in Khar, and one in Andheri.
Thank you.
Thank you.